Okay, so some of you I know really well. Some of you have been at some of the events that we've been together at. Some of you, this might be the first time that we've ever talked together. So know this, there will be some people that will be offended today. If you think you might be one of those, go to another presentation right now. I will not be sad. You can leave. We're going to talk straight today. You ready? Yes. Okay, so I've got 24 minutes, and I never have been able to stick to my time. I'm committed that I'm going to stick to my time today, okay? So I'm going to be short, I'm going to be brief, and we're going to talk about something, but I'm going to start with a story about my daughter. My daughter's name is Marisa. She has dyslexia, so she has struggled with school for a really long time. She learned how to read probably in the 10th grade, maybe the 9th grade, but she has a 3.0 grade, or a 3.8 grade point average. The reason why is because she is a master at finding the loopholes in the school system, right? She is my daughter. And she's like, Mom, I just figured out how to get a new intern. It was something that she wanted to do anyway. She wanted to public speak, right? She's like, so I can drop another class. I'm like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? It's awesome! I'm like, okay. So anyway, she's been able to figure out with her specific set of weaknesses and specific set of talents how to really have a lot of fun, but how to get things done. Last night she was on the phone with me and she started to cry. And do you remember, go back to when you were 2 months before graduation of high school. You're a senior. And literally it's pulling teeth for you just to go to school. Do any of you remember this? It's like so painful. And she was sobbing on the phone saying, I'm done. I can't go one more day. I can't do it. Every single day I wake up and I just literally drag myself there. And she's like, Mom, I decided last night, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not graduating. I'm not walking. I'm not. And I'm sitting there going, okay, she's 18. I can't tell her what to do. She's like, she's an adult. She's on the freaking home stretch. She has 2 months left. She's fought through dyslexia for 10 years, and now she's got 2 months until she walks, and she's just not going to go to school for the last 2 months? What do I do as a parent, right? So I'm sitting there and I think to myself, okay, do a takeaway, Allyse, a classic takeaway. I'm like, well then, don't go. This is a scary thing for a parent to say, right? I didn't know what to do at this moment because I had tried for like 30 minutes. We talked for maybe 45 minutes and finally I'm like, she's not listening to me, so why don't I just tell her not to go? I'm like, all right. So if you don't want to get even a high school diploma, and you might have to go back for a GED later on or your husband dies, or you decide that your business doesn't work out or whatever, she wants to go into business, then I can support you going back to high school. Like, so just don't go to high school. Mom, like I would never not go to high school. Like, of course I'm going to finish, right? So after that, it was over. She called me this morning and on her way to go to school, right? The reason why I'm telling you this story is because sometimes when we don't see the big picture, when you don't see the big picture of the compensation plan, when you don't see the big picture of really what's happening of the build, then you give up on the 1 yard line. It's like you put years and years and sweat and toil and sacrifice from your family. And I see many of you, and it kills me. It pains me. You're giving up at the 1 yard line. And the reason why is because you don't know any better. You don't know any better. You don't have the foresight of looking from a presidential or a double presidential perspective at where you are in the business. Is this not true? So, I'm going to give you a little bit of perspective. All right? I'm going to give you some perspective so that when you feel like I just can't push anymore, or when you feel like I'm not going to get there, or when you feel like, hey, I'm going to take a break or whatever, that you might rethink this and have a different perspective with this, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you can't take a break. I'm not saying that there aren't times where you need to heal. And there are times where you can't put your foot on the gas, because there absolutely are times. If any of you were there yesterday, I felt like a loser. I was the only one. Everyone else was like, I was born to do this business. My destiny is never quitting. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to quit. Obviously, there's times in my business and my life where I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, whoa. I've got to take a break. I've got to reset, right? I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but let's just look at something really quick. As a platinum and as a diamond, so you know where you are on the playing field, just like my daughter realizes that quitting 2 months before high school graduation is probably not the best idea, right? So, how many of you, honestly, raise your hands, how many of you feel like right now this is what you're doing? Right? Do you know why? Because you're sitting in this room. You're a platinum and a diamond. That's why. And if you were to actually look at the real picture, you are actually sitting right now, people in this room, if you're here as a platinum and a diamond, you're sitting at the hardest part of the compensation plan right now. You are in the crux of it. You don't realize. In fact, I think it's really sad that some people are like, oh my gosh, my goal is to be diamond. If I could just be a diamond. And like, as diamonds, you know how people walk up to you and like, oh my gosh, you're a diamond. And inside you're like, yeah, it sucks. Like, go for it. Like, being a diamond, it totally sucks. Like, being a diamond sucks. Let's be honest, right? Let's talk about why. Do you guys want to leave? Some of you want to just out of the room, right? This is why. I'm going to show you this chart. Now, I don't want you to get stuck on if it's really this amount of money or if it's really this amount of time. I'm giving you, and our numbers every single year from Corey Lindley change a little bit based on what our averages are. So don't get stuck on that. I'm giving you the overall idea, all right? So this is some averages that I've tried to pull together from people I've talked to, from what I know, and from what I see. And we're going to talk about silvers, golds, platinums, diamonds, blue diamonds, and presidential diamonds. All right, here we go. Now, a silver, right, makes around, and we learned yesterday it's a little bit different, so I'm like, oh, all my slides are completely out, but that's all right. So, makes around $2,000 a month, right? Now, how many of you in this room know silvers that are making a lot less than that? Oh, for sure. Let me tell you why. We have some really fat silvers in doTERRA that offset this average. Does this make sense? So, a lot of silvers actually make $800 to $1,000 a month, right? Okay, so we're going to just still take the average, $2,125 a month. Most silvers are putting in around 15 to 20 hours a week of work. Now, hold on. I see some of you already raising your eyebrows. Because let me tell you what I mean by 15 to 20 hours a week of work. It's not, this is my favorite comment. How much time do you put into doTERRA? 24/7. So I hear it all the time. 24/7. I'm like, oh, you mean that hour and a half conversation that you could have done in 10 minutes, but because she's a frontline and she's a really good friend of yours, and you talked about her husband and her kids and the dog and all that kind of stuff, you call that working doTERRA. That's life. That's friendship, right? Does this make sense? Sometimes you stretch out your work week and you make it so ineffective, your time is so ineffective, but because you're doing doTERRA full time, then that's what you should be doing full time, and you could really be effectively putting your time into half the hours, still being very effective that you do right now. So, about 15 to 20 hours a week. A silver can maintain silver. I'm not talking about someone pushing to silver, because you know every single time we push to a rank, it's a little heinous, right? But I'm using very specific words. Do you remember when you pushed to silver? Well, it was hard, wasn't it? It was hard, yeah. And you had all those doubts, and you wondered if it was all this time, if doTERRA really was going to pay you residual income for a long time. You might still be wondering that, if your residual income is still going to last. Okay, so silver. So $2,000 a month, 15 to 20 hours a week. Gold. Guys, you want to see this? Oh, is it working? No. Gold. 4,667. Who's making that as a goal? Some of us are. Some of us making more. I think this is a little, the average, if you took it, it's a little bit lower than that because it's offset a little. But 20 to 30 hours a week is a goal to maintain gold. I'm not talking about pushing to gold. Once you push to gold, to kind of maintain a gold organization takes about 20 to 30 hours a week. Okay? Platinum. Platinum is about $8,750 a month average. Some of you are not in that average, and new platinums definitely do not make this, right? How much does a new platinum make? 3,000, 4,000. Some of them can make your $1,500 bonus, and if you're like a really lean platinum and you don't have a lot of people in your organization, you can not only make 3,000, 4,000 a month, right? But the average across the company is $8,750 a month. The time they're putting in, this is full-time work. This is 30 to 40 hours a week, right? Let's go diamond. Hallelujah, this is where I want to be in the business. A diamond now makes on average, now these are mature diamonds, people. These are not brand new diamonds. How much does a brand new diamond make? Okay, just so you know, you can, as a brand new diamond, make as little as $6,000 a month. Right? Right here. Most of them make about 8 to 10 if they're a little bit newer, mature diamonds. I mean, if we won't even talk about Lori's like diamond check. She's the one that's offsetting all of your averages here. All right? Okay. So, $16,000 a month. Look how much time diamonds are spending in the business. 46. Raise your hand. Is this true? This is true. You are full-time in the business. You're 40 to 60 hours a week. And I'm talking, this isn't just chatting with your front line for hours on end because you don't have anything to do. This is you're running full pace, effective time, putting everything you got into the business, and then you think to yourself, I did this business to spend more time with my kids and my husband. Right? How many of you have thought that? I did this business so I could have more time with my children and my husband. And then this is what happens. Something in your mind starts saying, there is no way. In fact, even some of you start making very judgmental opinions about blue diamonds and presidential diamonds, and it goes something like this. Well, if I'm this bad of a mother, imagine how freaking bad Allyse is. Like, she must seriously have social services calling her house on a weekly basis because she's neglecting those darn 5 children of hers. Because what you don't realize is this curve does something that you've never known before, that we don't talk about before. And the reason why we don't talk about it is because us as upline are so afraid to give away this secret. But I think it's really helpful, and I'm going to tell you what it is, so you don't hang out at Diamond. This is the worst place in the whole, this room is the suckiest place to be in. Okay? You guys are like, yes! Here we go. Do you want to know how much a blue diamond, after they push and they're maintaining rank, how many hours they put in, blue diamonds, and how much money they make? Here we go. Blue diamonds work 20 to 30 hours a week on average. They make $36,500 a month, and even a new blue diamond, a low blue diamond, you're talking 25, 22, really, really squeaky low, right? Let me show you presidentials. Oh, all the presidentials in here, we're ashamed, right? Presidentials work 15 to 20 hours. I know a lot of presidentials that work 10 hours a week. They make $106,000 per month on average. Many of us make much more than that. Squeaky clean. Like, it's super hard for you to go presidential, anything under $55,000 a month. That's hard to do. You have to have a perfect organization at $55,000 almost a month, right? So this is the real deal. Okay? This is really where it lies. So if you're sitting at Diamond or Platinum and thinking, there is no way I could give more. There is no way I could ask my children to sacrifice more than this. There's no way our marriage is going to last if I do any more. Do you know what you're really doing? You're putting your family through heck at Diamond because you're staying at 40 to 60 hours a week. And let me tell you why. Let's go back. Let's talk about why. There's a real obvious reason why. Your front line, who are they? What do they have to be for you to rank as a diamond? Silvers. What do silvers make? How much do silvers make? How much do most silvers make?
$300,000.
Is this enough for them to go full time? So who has to do all the work because they're part-time and they haven't decided that this is going to be something they're going to do for the rest of their lives? You do. You do, you do, you do every single day. And you sit there and you're like, I'm Diamond, I'm just going to sit here for a while. Oh my goodness. Like, poke me with needles constantly. Do you understand why though? So when you start going blue, you at least get some people that are at least gold. Some of them are higher than that. And they start having this vision of, oh my goodness, this is going to work. And I'm going to put more time into this. Now they're putting in 20 to 30 hours a week, right? When you go presidential, your people are putting full time in. So people come up to me all the time like, how do you do it? You are like triple diamond. Oh my gosh, I can't even go platinum. And I'm like, and that's the problem. And that's the problem because guess what? I didn't quit 2 months before graduation.
Good.
I knew in my mind from the very beginning, if I can get my leaders to make enough money, and I know this is a very money-oriented, what did you expect coming to my presentation, right? But if I can get my leaders to make enough money that they can do this on a full-time basis, what does that mean for me? I can hang out with my kids more. I can go to the hockey tournaments. I can go to the soccer games. I can play with them. So there's no way in heck I'm going to stop until my leaders become at least gold and platinum. So they'll do this for the rest of my life, and that there, my friends, is where this business starts to work. Right there is where you truly have residual income. My lifestyle right now is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Do I still bring on new builders? Yes. Do I still stay relevant? Yes. Do I still try new things? Yes. But guess what? My lifestyle has never been better, even before doTERRA. And while I started many businesses since I was 15 years old, this is the best my lifestyle has ever been, even with other businesses. And I'm still staying relevant, and I'm still doing things to help my team. But most of my leaders are really self-sufficient. In fact, most of them are like, Allyse, I got it. I want to be my own leader. I'm like, go for it. That's awesome. Right? Isn't that what you want? So what does it take to get through those last 2 months of high school? What does it take when you can't stand it and you're dreading it and you're getting up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. Some of you feel this way. Most platinums and diamonds, if you're really honest with yourselves, because I've talked to a lot of you privately, you're in this spot. You feel like it's 2 months before graduation, and every single morning you're waking up and going, oh, I hate my psychology teacher. If I have to hear him one more time, I'm going to die, right? Sometimes we feel that way about our businesses. So if you can gain some perspective here, just a little bit of perspective goes a long, long way. If you realize that, like, here is where you don't want to step on the gas here, right? So what do? You sit down with your spouse, you sit down with your kids, and you show them what lifestyle looks like. Laura Jacobs, how's your lifestyle right now? It's awesome, right? And your leaders most of them are totally self-sufficient. Yeah, it's incredible. Lifestyle is incredible, right? So, this is what I'm going to recommend to you that you do. You need to decide if you're ready for another push. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to cry. Because pushing is hard, isn't it? And it's sometimes super scary. And And you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I have to do this again? I was just talking to a leader just 2 hours ago. We were talking, and I said, oh, you're in for another push, huh? And I looked at this leader, and I almost wanted to cry because I know what that feels like. I know what that is. But what's worse is sitting there forever, right? So you got to decide, okay, do I have it in me? And you got to pick the right time. Don't do it, right? Don't do it in the worst 2 months like possible, where when your kids are all home, or I don't know when the worst 2 months were going to be, but take the time, and it should be soon, because when we, at this level, at Platinum and Diamond, when we back off, does our business just stay the same? Why? Because who's been building it this whole time? You have. So if you back off, is it going to stay the same? No. It goes down. At this level. Now, at presidential level, when you have all your leaders going, and if you back off, sometimes your business even grows. Right? Isn't that true? Sometimes you're like, dude, I did almost nothing this month, and it's like the best month ever! This is awesome! Right? It's incredible. So, you gotta pick the time, and you've gotta decide, we are going to push until the end. We're going to go until we hit the next rank advancement. Whether that's, okay, we're gonna get Diamond, because you have to rebuild. I know that some of you in here are in a rebuilding process, which is hard. Or are you gonna go push Blue? But I want just you to think of something right now. Diamond is not your goal. This is what we tell everybody it's something about our culture in doTERRA is like, Diamond, I mean, you get to walk the carpet as a diamond, right? Everyone thinks diamond is your goal, diamond is your goal. This is, then they get there and they're like, I have been deceived. Right? And then have any of you read that story, like the Emperor's New Clothes? Yes. Right? And then when people walk up to you at leadership, you have to act like you're not naked. You're wearing clothes. People are like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome. How did you go diamond? And you're thinking to myself, I'm gonna poke my eyes out. Right? Diamond is not our goal. What's our goal, at least? Oh, you guys are better than I thought. I was gonna say blue diamond. So, hold on. Our goal right now, before you overwhelm yourself, you gotta go at least blue diamond, where you have some people making at least, right? At least as a gold. Hold on, that side is wrong, huh?
There you go.
At least as a gold, $4,600 a month, right? So they can kind of step up and do more. All right. I want to tell you this. I have done some things in this business that I thought to myself, nobody would do this. How is this even duplicatable? I'm sure Laura has felt that way too, like, nobody would do this. Nobody would put the time in, right? And then guess what happens? I have individuals underneath me that do. They want it just as bad. They're just as dedicated. They're just as motivated. And the business actually works. It works, and it works beautifully. It works amazingly. In fact, just for fun, me and my husband the other day, and you know that we're staying relevant. That's what we do. We keep doing our stuff, right? We love it. We're like, okay, what would happen? What would happen? Have you guys ever gone through this like worst case scenario in your mind before? What would happen if everything just fell apart? Like, what would happen if like we didn't even rank at all, or we didn't even like all of our leaders just decided to just boycott? I don't know. Like, what would really happen? And we figured out. We went through all the numbers, and we're like, well, we would still make no less, even if that happened, than $160,000 or $70,000 a month. And he's like, Allyse, stop being scared. That's worst case scenario. So what I want to tell you is this. We have an amazing compensation plan. We have an amazing compensation plan. But my friends, don't be in this room next year. Yeah. but you don't even know how good it gets. You don't even know how incredible it becomes. You don't even know how much service and how much all of you have, I'm sure, your own personal mission statements and what you dream about you can do in your life. Those things are a reality. They're happening for people all the time, but they don't happen at the diamond level because you're too busy. You're too busy. All right? So, last thing, I have 43 seconds. I love you. Thank you for what you've done for my business. All of my dreams have come true because of you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for doTERRA and my leaders and Crosslines that have helped foster and nurture and teach my leaders. Right now we're living in Europe. My husband's European and we were able to move to Europe about 6 months ago. It's always been a plan. We lived there 10 years ago with our older kids and now our younger kids are in Czech schools and living in Europe. And so we are falling in love with our European downline. We have a big European downline and they're constantly at our house. It's a little bit different. In Utah, you plan events and they go to hotels. Oh no, in Europe they're like, all of us have booked tickets, we're coming to your house for 3 days. I'm like, okay, this is what we do in Europe, right? So they're always in my home. They always see me in my pajamas. It's a different deal in Europe. But about 2 months ago, we were talking about elite retreats. And elite retreats is something that we've loved to do. We usually do them live. And just for fun, me and my husband pulled up, we haven't done it for probably 5 or 6 months. Let's see how many elites are in our organization. And only about 80 or 100 elites can come to elite retreats. And it's hard when elites are making only, I don't know what elites make, $500, $800, right? It's hard for them to pay for flights, to pay for hotels, go out to elite retreat and stay 3 days because are these full-time people? No, right? These are people that so they have to miss their jobs. It's an expense. So you only get like a very, 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 very small percentage that will come to those events. So we went online and we found out that we have way over 10,000 elites in our organization. And we're only helping 80 every 2 months, right? So we decided in June that we were going to do something different. That we're going to start having online elite retreats. Now they're not as powerful because it's not live, but instead of touching 80 people, you can touch 10,000, right? And every month, because doTERRA works and the compensation plan works, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads that are ranking. So, I'm going to give you a website. If you guys would like to have your team join in on these online things, stay there, okay? But it's only 1 day, it's like 6 hours, and we're going to be filming it from Prague, so they'll see Prague, and they'll see us in Europe. It's kind of fun. But there's some really good training that goes into it. This is the website, it's called Reinventing Healthcare. So long, I'm so sorry. It's just old and we don't dare change it. Reinventinghealthcare411@gmail.com. So I can't tell you how many of my downline have gone to Laura Jacobs events, and how many of my downline have gone to Natalie Goddard's events, and how many of my downline have gone to other events that you guys provide, and how grateful I am. And so I want to be able to just make it's online, so we can touch as many people, and if that's something that you want to do, we'd love to have you there. They're going to be starting in June, right? And if you notice really quickly, this was my topic that they gave me. I decided I wasn't going to talk on that.